Ladies and gentlemen, it gives us immense pleasure to welcome each and every one of you to the graduation ceremony of Good Shepherd International School. May I request all present to kindly rise to welcome our esteemed chief guest. We would like to accord you a very warm welcome, ma'am. And now we invite you to put your hands together to applaud the graduating batch of students, the year 2026, as they enter the Dr. P.C. Thomas Auditorium in ceremonial march. Kindly receive them with warm and respectful applause as they enter, adorned in their graduation gowns. Please be seated. I now invite Ms. Sarah Jacob, Senior Vice President, Student and Staff Welfare, Ms. Alina Alam, the Chief Guest, Ms. Deepa Suresh, Headmistress of Good Shepherd International School, and Ms. Rekha Jacqueline, Coordinator of SISKI and Cambridge programs, to ceremonially light the lamp. The lighting of the lamp symbolizes the triumph of knowledge and the endurance of the light of wisdom.
Thank you, everyone. Now, the invocation will be rendered by Sharika Bikena.
Please bow your head. Our Father, who is in heaven, the dispenser of our destiny, and the Lord of time and history, we remember your holy name on the special occasion when the little ones who had come to this institution's fold many years ago have grown under the shadow of thy throne and are now ready to leave, to find the vocations and careers in the world. We remember and praise your blessed name that sustains our pilgrimage on earth. We thank you, Lord, that all our students stand here under your grace and protection always. Bless and guide each and every one of them who are in the midst of their examinations. Bless their efforts to secure admissions at universities and professional colleges. Let them dwell secure under the everlasting wings of the Good Shepherd. We pray for the members of the GSIS family who have been intimately associated with the upbringing and growth of these graduates. We pray especially for our teachers as they guide our students through their lessons and preparations for their examinations. May your loving hand be upon them to guide them, Lord. We praise you for the faithfulness that has attended the efforts that brought great repute and eminence to this institution. We pray for your presence throughout this graduation ceremony. We pray for your love's sake. Amen.
We shall now sing the school song.
Thank you. Please be seated. The welcome address will now be delivered by Ms. Rekha Jacqueline, Coordinator of CISE and CAIE.
Good morning. Our chief guest, Ms. Alina Alam, founder and CEO of Mitti Café, esteemed guests of honor, President, Mr. Jacob Thomas, Senior Vice President, Mrs. Sarah Jacob, Head of School, Mr. Vinod Singh, Headmistress, Mrs. Deepa Suresh, Coordinator of IBDP and IB Continuum, Mr. Suresh Thangarajan, Academic Council members, parents, guardians, guests, faculty, students, and stars of the day, the graduating batch of 2026. I am immensely pleased to welcome each one of you to the graduation ceremony. On this wonderful day, as a students of grade 12 graduate to celebrated heights and embark on their next chapter of excellence, we are gathered together to rejoice in their success and unwavering spirit and celebrate their dedication, growth, and boundless potential. To recognize and motivate each one of you, we have with us Ms. Alina Alam, founder and CEO of Mitti Café, the world's largest chain of cafes operated entirely by persons with disabilities. This transformative movement demonstrates the extraordinary outcomes possible when a community unites with purpose. At the age of 22, Ms. Alina launched Mitti Café, armed with conviction and the belief that dignity is a fundamental right, not a privilege. Mitti Café promotes economic independence and dignity for persons with disabilities, while raising awareness through outreach on inclusion and rights. Now spanning prestigious venues like the Rashtrapati Bhavan, the Supreme Court, high courts, airports, universities, and corporate campuses, each outlet thrives under the confident leadership of individuals with physical and intellectual disabilities, reshaping perceptions through excellence. Its profound impact includes employing and skilling 6,500 individuals, serving 22 million meals, distributing 8 million Karuna meals to vulnerable communities, and forging partnerships with governments, corporates, NGOs, and global entities, all sustained by a scalable, purpose-driven hybrid model. Recognized by India's highest offices, including the President, Prime Minister, Chief Justice, and Chief Ministers, as well as global figures like Germany's Chancellor Olaf Scholz, Mitti Café exemplifies collective strength. Ms. Alina's leadership has garnered accolades, such as the 2024 National Award for the Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities from the President of India, Forbes 30 Under 30 Asia, Commonwealth Youth Award, UN Intercultural Innovation Award, Niti Aayog Women Transforming India Award, Helen Keller Award, and others including CNBC Future Female Icon, Times of India She Unlimited, Rotary Exemplar, and Tycoon Young Female Entrepreneur of the Year. What distinguishes Ms. Alina is her profound faith in human potential, proving that united communities can achieve the impossible, an enduring inspiration for all of us. On behalf of the school, I extend a very warm welcome to you, ma'am. To all the parents, guardians, and distinguished guests who have eagerly anticipated this momentous day, I extend my deepest gratitude for your unwavering partnership in shaping these remarkable young minds. It is my delight to welcome you warmly. To all the staff of GSIS across academic, co-curricular, and administrative domains, and students, a heartfelt welcome to the graduation ceremony. Dear graduating batch of 2026, today marks a wonderful day, a celebration of growth, perseverance, and remarkable achievement, reflecting the resilience and dedication each one of you have demonstrated. There are many in this graduating batch who, when first arrived at the school, wide-eyed with curiosity and excitement, some filled with tears, this day may have seemed a distant dream as you stepped into a world brimming with opportunities. Some of you walked the corridors of Fernhill campus holding the hands of your teachers, and here you are today seated in your graduation gowns and caps as confident young adults, filled with enthusiasm and ready to seize greater opportunities and contribute positively to the society. You represent a truly exceptional cohort, one that rigorously challenged our decisions and also demonstrated the wisdom of placing trust in you as you embraced greater responsibilities with commendable poise. You honed our listening skills by teaching us to discern the unspoken, expanded our divergent thinking through your thoughtful queries, especially when questioning established norms, and cultivated our patience amid the trials of adolescence. Indeed, we, the management, parents, teachers, boarding house parents, all of us grew alongside you. Today, we proudly graduate 91 exceptional students from 14 diverse states and 6 different countries, united as Shepherdians. As you reflect on the past and prepare for the future, carry forward the values, skills, talents, grit, and determination cultivated here to transform your life's path. Let the timeless words of our school prayer envelop you, a sacred reminder of the home you've cherished and the legacy you've built. In these halls of GSIS, you were known by your dreams, the late-night study sessions, the team victories, the quiet acts of kindness. Friendships blossomed, courage grew through debates, projects, and personal trials. Every voice echoed in assemblies and classrooms. Every heart found a listener in teachers, peers, and mentors. You pursued truth, faced uncertainties with resilience, and championed justice. You cheered each other's wins, and in stumbles, you turned setbacks into stepping stones of growth. You transformed this community, leaving it richer. Go forth, more generous in spirit, more thoughtful in action, more authentically yourselves. Carry these with you always: grace in your actions, humility in your success, and courage in your becoming. The world awaits your light. We are forever proud of each one of you. I once again extend a very warm welcome to the graduating batch and everyone present here to celebrate, bless, and wish our graduates the very best. Thank you.
I now request Mr. Suresh Thangarajan, coordinator of the diploma program, to escort the chief guest to the stage. Ms. Rekha Jacqueline, coordinator of the SISKI and the Cambridge programs. Mr. Suresh Thangarajan, coordinator of the diploma program, and the chief guest will be seated on stage for the remainder of the proceedings. Thank you. Following that comprehensive, solemn, and evocative welcome address by Ms. Rekha Jacqueline, it is now the turn of V.N. Thiagu, School Captain 2026-2027, to deliver the farewell address.
Good morning to everyone present here. Standing here today is surreal for me. I joined this institution 11 years ago. I was just a tiny boy getting lost in corridors that felt like mazes. And today, as I look at the senior batch graduating, I realize something. I have gone through my years in this school watching this batch grow up. Back when I was in the Fernal campus, my go-to people were Jobin, Nandika, and Sharika whenever I was confused or feeling lonely. They were not just seniors, but family. You were always one step ahead of us. When we were figuring out how to survive high school, you were already running assemblies. When we were nervous about subject choices, you were navigating board exams. When we were unsure of ourselves, you somehow made leadership look effortless. But what we didn't see from the outside were the late nights, the internal battles, the pressure, and the doubts. We only saw the finished product, the confident seniors walking across campus and showing us how it's done. And in many ways, you did. You shaped the culture we inherited. You taught us that it's okay to speak up in class, that house spirit matters, that competitions are worth the stress, that friendships built here don't just survive school, they survive everything that life has to offer. You were not just seniors, you were benchmarks. We measured ourselves against you. As someone who has been here for over a decade, I have seen many batches come and go. But every once in a while, there's a group that leaves behind more than memories. They leave behind standards, and that is all of you. You raised the bar. You balanced academics with activities, lightened everyone's mood with humor, ambition with kindness. You showed us that excellence doesn't mean perfection, but living the moment. And today, as you sit here in your graduation robes, I hope you retain all the memories you made here like we will of you. When you all leave, the corridors will feel quieter. The assemblies will feel different. The school will move on. However, it will move on carrying your imprint. To the graduating batch, thank you. Thank you for the guidance you didn't even know you were giving. Thank you for setting standards that challenge us to be better. Thank you for proving that growth is uncomfortable but worth it. As you step into the world beyond these gates, remember this. The confidence you built here is real. The resilience you developed here is permanent. And the friendships you formed here are not limited by place. You may be leaving this campus, but this campus will always be part of who you are. On behalf of the entire 11th grade, we are extremely proud and thankful for all of you. Congratulations, batch of 2026. The next chapter is yours to conquer. Thank you.
Thank you, Vyan. The reply to the farewell address will be delivered by Nandika Ramprabhu and Jobin Joseph.
On 26 July 2014, my parents officially handed me over to Deepa Miss for the next 12 years of my life. I'm pretty sure my frontal lobe wasn't even developed back then. And today, she's finally handing me back to my parents. Hopefully better trained and less chaotic. When I first walked into this school, well, waddle is a better word, I barely knew how to talk. And now, I can confidently say I've learned much more than just talking. Though some teachers might argue I learned a little too much of it. This school has given me memories of every kind. Memories that make me want to run back here, memories that make me cry waterfalls, and memories that still make me laugh way louder than I should. Since coming to GSIS, I've learned many things apart from academics, of course, like how to tie my shoelace, make my bed, and even make my own tie. But more importantly, I met some truly amazing humans and made friendships that turned this place into home. I'd like to make a special mention to one of those people, someone who has been on the exact same journey, but just in different font. When I first met him, I had no idea he'd become such a big part of my life. But here we are. He, my best friend, always by my side, always entertaining me with the weirdest things possible. It's none other than Jobin. I'm genuinely glad you joined GSIS, because surviving this place without you would have been much harder and way boring. It's been 11 years, 6 months, and 26 days since that day. And in that time, I've made more friends, done crazier things, and learned far more than I've ever expected. Today, I stand here representing the batch of 2026. I think we can all agree we're one of the best batches the school has seen in a very, very long time. Of course, we have had our fair share of chaos. Our batch is a mix of every possible personality. The extremely smart ones, the smart but not academically smart ones, the sporty ones, artists, musicians, and even aspiring filmmakers and politicians. You'll find us doing the most unexpected things, like hanging from the ceiling in a fairy costume or being collectively summoned to the coordinator's office. Some people might say we are overdramatic, but I like to think we simply made school life more interesting. We gave people something to talk about, something to remember, and definitely something they won't forget anytime soon. Most of us sitting before you have seen this institute grow, from waiting to use the landline to call our parents, to Nokia phones, to finally walking around with laptops like we mean business. And somewhere along the way, we grew too. Maybe not always in maturity and technologically, but definitely in creativity, which also means trouble and chaos that followed. The kind of chaos that builds character, the kind that turns into stories you tell 10 years later and still laugh about. There were very dedicated cast movements that somehow involved exploring parts of campus we probably didn't need to explore. The Selwyn Hall roof saw more of us than it should have. Our ability to hide chocolates could qualify as a design thinking project, if only we used this innovation during exams. We made faces where we had faces where we thought we were athletes, scientists, performers, and even professional pranksters, sometimes all in the same week. We trained together, cheered together, played cards like it was an underground sport, and took a fitness challenge that humbled us the very next morning. There was also the time we accidentally locked the dorm parent outside and somehow her TV broke in the process. The gym bros roaming around with water bottles bigger than the size of textbooks, living in the gym like they pay rent. They look like they could bench press the school bus, but will ask, bro, did that look good? After every single set. And of course, the legendary office summons. Some for love, some for laughter, and some just for existing too loudly. Some of us here have reserved seats in Deepa Mrs. office. But here's the thing. Behind all the mischief, behind the drama and the detentions, behind the laughter that echoed in the dorm corridors and stadium stands was something real. It was friendship. It was loyalty. It was growing up together. We weren't just causing chaos. We were building memories. And one day, when this campus is quieter without us, I think even our noises will be missed. And to our teachers, thank you for teaching us, guiding us, and very patiently surviving with us. Thank you for classes that were not just about syllabus, but about stories, debates, laughter, and the occasional life lessons disguised as a grammar correction. To the English classes that somehow always took unexpected turns, and to the nicknames that followed us longer than our report cards ever will. To the ever-watching prep duty teachers whose ability to sense open laptops without even looking up deserves a scientific study. To the physics lessons where the jokes came free with the formulas and the laptop checks even faster. To the teacher who made it their personal mission to ensure that certain people who seemed a little too comfortable with each other's company move for the meals, like it was an Olympic sport. To those prep sessions where even saying the alphabet could somehow land us in trouble. And to that one classroom that became multifunctional, equal parts academic space, social hub, and unofficial meeting spot. And of course, how can I forget the teachers that always knew all our secrets and humbled us in programs. And also the hot sunny days doing left and left under Dominic Sir's command. The music teachers who have heard us hit not so high and not so low notes. To our sports teachers, thank you for for turning our complaints into cardio and laziness into laps. To our dorm parents who endured missing socks, late night conversations that were definitely not whispers, and constant complaints. Thank you for putting up with us even when we were at our loudest and most chaotic. Beyond the teasing, the scolding, and the endless change of topics, thank you to the teachers who trusted us with responsibilities, who met our impossible demands during programs and believed we could handle more than we thought we could. You didn't just teach us lessons from textbooks. You taught us patience, accountability, resilience, and how to grow up even when we are trying very hard not to. Deepa Miss, thank you for taking care of me all these years, for guiding me, scolding me when I needed it, and quietly protecting me in ways I probably didn't even know. You made sure my parents never had to worry about whether I was okay, because I always was. For being my guardian away from home, I'm always grateful. The memories I've created here are endless. To all my friends, even the ones I forced into being my friends by simply refusing to leave them alone until they accepted their fate, thank you. To the girl who tried to teach me psychology while I was fighting for my life to stay awake, I promise I got something in my head. To the late night dancing, the chaotic karaoke sessions, the friend who taught me how to play cards and accidentally created an addict, the one who always had emergency chocolates, and the one who made sure I believed in myself even on the days I did not. Thank you. To the people that accompany me bunking classes, parades, and programs, thank you for tagging along. To the people that try to teach me subjects, a big thank you to you all. To our Sunday strolls around campus that somehow turned into therapy sessions, and of course, to the nickname that will move on with me for life. I carry every bit of this with me. I'm going to miss this noise, the trouble, the laughter, and the kind of fun that we all could create. Before I end, I want to thank someone very close to my heart. The one who stood by me no matter what anyone said. The one who gives me reality checks faster than my internet speed. The one who matches my energy, challenges me, and supports me all at once. Sharika. Even if I leave in a few months, just remember, I'm always by your side. I'm just an email away, and I'm going to miss you more than words can ever explain. As we stand at the edge of everything familiar, about to walk out of these gates and into a world that doesn't have prep bells or dorm calls, I think we can all agree on one thing. This place has shaped us in ways we won't fully understand yet. Even we came in as children, and we're leaving with stories, scars, laughter, and lessons, and a version of selves that is stronger than we realize. So, as the batch of 2026 steps forward, let's remember this. Go with the choice that scares you the most, because that is the one that will make you grow. We have never been the batch that chose the easy way, and I hope we never start now. Here's to growth, to courage, and everything waiting for us beyond these walls. Thank you. Signing off, Nandika Ramprabhu, 6344.
Good evening, good afternoon, respected teachers, parents in my batch of 2026. 12 years, more than my life inside these walls than outside them, and I genuinely don't know whether to feel proud or slightly concerned. I joined GSIS in grade 1, tiny, lost, and absolutely convinced that school was optional. It was clearly not. My main strategy was the hospital run, a perfected headache, a slightly dramatic walk, and a very hopeful face. Every single time, Deepa Miss knew. To my tiny little brain, I thought she used magic, and I would get sent back to class defeated, already planning my next attempt. But somewhere between all the escaping, I was picking up things without realizing it. Blowing bubbles with Amanda Miss, running around Fernal campus for no reason, sliding down the playhouse, showing up at Deepa Miss' office for no reason, but just a Milky Bar toffee. Those were the things that I actually remember. In grade 1, I also met Nandika. Neither of us knew what we were doing, but she was the first person who made this place feel less like a trap. The jokes, the conversations that I sadly don't fully remember now. I wouldn't say I've changed drastically over these past 12 years. There was no big turning point, no single morning where everything suddenly made sense. Mine was a series of mistakes, figuring things out late, sometimes embarrassingly late, and learning as I went. From Fernal campus to graduation, this entire batch has been part of my almost never-ending journey, which sadly, in a few months, is coming to an end. The Fernal days running around cricket fields, selling chocolates, skipping workouts, just being kids. Those are some of the most simplest and the best memories that I've made with all of you. And somehow, as we grow older, the chaos only upgraded instead of disappearing. We snuck out of the dorm for peaceful strolls that were never actually peaceful. We watched movies way deep into the night, fully aware that we had class the next morning. We came up with ideas that sounded brilliant at 11 p.m. and terrible in daylight. The deodorant flamethrower experiment in the bathroom. The genius decision of combining a hairdryer with questionable wiring and short-circuiting half of the block. And even attempts at creating what we thought looked like a lightsaber with using electric shocks. None of it was smart, all of it unforgettable. We backed each other up in situations that definitely don't need details right now. We turned ordinary weeks into stories that we'll probably be still laughing from years from now. So to the entire batch, thank you for making the chaos, the nonsense, the late nights, the Fernal memories, and for making these 12 years far more fun than they had any right to be. DP1 and DP2. The most fun I've ever had in my 12 years happened with the same people seated right here. Same chaos, same group of us stumbling through the rigorous IB program together. We fought, we laughed, half of us tried to survive while the other half chased excellence. We probably made our teachers' lives harder than necessary. We're sorry about that. I'll miss the free periods with nowhere to be, convincing the substitute teachers to take us outside to the dog kennel, to the chapel lawn, or to the volleyball courts, as if it was academically essential. It was at the graduation party that I began to realize that school was coming to an end. I looked around and realized the bond that each one of us has built over these past years, and for some, many more than just a few years. To the teachers, every one of you had left something in me even when I made it difficult, even when I was late, distracted, or convinced that I knew better. I didn't. You handled us while we were still figuring out how to be people. The entire batch is truly grateful for that. To my parents, you came sometimes from Dubai, sometimes from Kerala, just for a weekend. At the time, it felt normal. It wasn't. And like it felt, yeah. And even in the nights I called home saying I wanted to leave, looking back at it now, I don't think I could have asked for a better childhood than this. The outside world has no bells, no timetables, no Deepamis, no Suresh sir, who always knew how and when to help us. That's a strange thing to walk into, but I feel like I'll figure it out somehow. To the juniors, use this place to the fullest while you have it. Make the memories, have the conversations, and get into the most nonsensical troubles. Make the memories that will last a lifetime. But I never thought I would say this, but you will still want to have one more day in the school eventually. To my batch, 10 or 15 years from now, we'll be in different countries, different careers, different versions of ourselves that we can't even picture yet. But when we meet again, we'll recognize each other, not just by how we look, but by the memories that we have created together. It was never about the school. It was about the people you spent your school life with. And I would like to end my speech with a quote. I quote, "Stay hungry, stay foolish," I unquote. Thank you, batch of 2026. Thank you, GSIS. Signing off, Jobin Joseph Mutu, 642, sir.
Thank you, Nandika and Jobin. The graduation oath will now be administered by Kaina Golia, School Captain 2025-26.
The graduation oath. We, the graduating class of Good Shepherd International School, class of 2026, do declare a solemn pledge of loyalty to our alma mater on this day of our graduation, that we will treasure in our hearts the ideals, principles, and prestige of our beloved school. We will uphold the motto of our school, truth, trust, and triumph, in all our actions, honor as we leave our school, and with work hard in all our endeavors as we go forth, as our school has taught us to. We are grateful for the guidance, knowledge, and protection our school has given us. We are indebted to our teachers, mentors, and all those who have cared for us in our school years, and for the selfless devotion that they have shown us. And that we shall strive hard to be good and useful members of our community in order to be worthy of the name of our alma mater. On this day, we take this oath, and it is our intention to preserve the dignity and rich heritage of our school, to live up to the hopes of our teachers and mentors, and bring glory to our God and country. So help us God.
Thank you, Kaina. We shall now listen to the graduation hymn, O God, our help in ages past.
graduates kindly be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall now proceed with the presentation of the certificates of graduation. The certificates will be conferred by our esteemed chief guest, Ms. Alina Alam. We begin with 6344 Nandika Ramprabhu. 6427 Jobin Joseph. 6643 Sharika Devi Bikina. 6746 Kaina Gulia. 6768 Nagul Pranav Tamilchelvan. 6847 KR Sanjit. 6848 A Hari Balaji. 6883 Prithviraj Sur. 6904 Jay Rajesh Panjari. 7020 Utkarsh Datta. 7095 Kush Milan Patel. 7160 Mitrun Dayanand H. 7239 Pratham Hardik Cheda. 7248 Aditi Bishaka Das. 7254 Kahan Paras Patel. 7321 Anirudh Kedia. 7357 Somreddy Abhishant Reddy. 7358 7398 Neil Kumar Haresh Gamara. 7437 Khushi Lokesh. 7465 Kabir Bimal Patel. 7470 S Ramanand. 7496 Dhriti Sudhir Bhosle. 7521 Prisha Vipul Agrawal. 7532 Tishya Agarwal. 7558 Dhruvin Parekh. 7561 Rajveer Vishal Chordia. 7571 Akshay Bundela. 7581 Sai Singh. 7633 Neev Darshan Karya. 7644 Agam Amit Cheda. 7649 Akash Babu. 7652 S Dhruva Reddy. 7654 Saket Sanjeev Paitankar. 7663 Yutika Gupta. 7675 Manish Reddy. 7679 Satej Rahul Jadhav. 7680 7685 Taran K. Majetia. 7692 Hridan Bijal Dattani. 7696 Gautam Mohan. 7709 Gokul Tirunavakarasu. 7720 Reenav Jignesh Shah. 7721 Neve Brijesh Gada. 7726 Manav Alkesh Patel. 7733 Manan Sandeep Raninga. 7740 Moksh Jain. 7745 Viveka Vardhan. 7747 Tanushri S. 7762 Iona Jaiswal. 7784 Rishi Agarwal. 7794 Yuvraj Agarwal. 7801 Sachi Sagar Reje. 7804 Hia Reddy Gurram. 7811 Yashvi Vasant Kataria. 7849 Ritin Pachipula. 7850 Anvita Sivanandan. 7857 Manubolu Sai Anilok Reddy. 7879 Kondragunta Sai Priyamvada. 7885 Irene Anna Shabu. 7895 Samaira Pateja. 7913 Divya Ladia. 8158 Vibhashini Balasubramaniam. 8171 Dion Nibu. 8173 Svecha Jain. 8184 Divyam Heda. 8198 Celine Elsa Sabu. 8201 Karan Patel. 8206 Asta Praful Desai. 8210 Akshita Singhania. 8222 Pooja E. 8227 Chitturi Rajgopal Chaudhary. 8235 Yug Muvalia. 8251 Yashwant Vijay Kumar Gadak. 8254 Vidhi Tayal. 8257 Yug Vitalbai Kothari. 8260 Satvika Verma Kamila. 8266 Nived Vikas Gana. 8268 Sparsh Agarwal. 8276 Arush Reddy. 8281 Mahati Taminidi. 8289 Ritisha Gupta. 8291 Neve Patak. 8292 Sanchita Tiwari. 8305 Vismaya Grace Sajan. 8306 Shreyansh Audi. 8309 Abhinav Vinod. 8313 Shamita Shekhar. 8314 8314 Kashvi Manish Dattani. 8318 Naitik Agarwal. 8319 Ashika Grace Manuel. 8324 Nahida Ansar. 8335 Harsh Dharmesh Chavda.
8336
Ladies and gentlemen, can we have another round of resounding applause to all the graduates? I would request the dignitaries on stage to take their seats. And now we move on to the most anticipated minutes of this graduation ceremony, the presentation of special awards. The special awards will be conferred by different dignitaries. We begin with the Excellence in Science and Humanities streams in the IBDP program. I call upon Mr. Suresh Thangarajan, coordinator of the diploma program, to confer the awards. We begin with Science Excellence Award. The Science Excellence Award in the International Baccalaureate Diploma program is presented to Pratham Hardik Chedda in recognition of his outstanding academic achievement and consistent excellence in the sciences. The Humanities Excellence Awards in the IBDP program are conferred upon Sparsh Agarwal and Divyam Heda for their distinguished achievements. Ms. Rekha Jacqueline, coordinator of SISKI and Cambridge programs, will now confer the awards in the ISC category. ISC Science Excellence Award is awarded to Vibhashini Balasubramanian in appreciation of her exemplary academic performance and commitment to scientific inquiry. The Humanities Excellence Award in the ISC stream is presented to Ritisha Gupta for her commendable academic achievement. I now call upon Ms. Deepa Suresh, Headmistress of Good Shepherd International School, to join us on stage to give another set of awards. The next in line is the Best Sea Cadet Award. It will be conferred on, I'm just waiting for Ms. Deepa to arrive on stage, and I think the anticipation is high. The Best Sea Cadet Award is conferred upon Iona Jaiswal, who has served with distinction in the position of the leading cadet, demonstrating discipline, leadership, and dedication. The Best Musician Award is presented to Agam Amit Cheda, in recognition of his accomplishment in drum kit. Agam has also successfully qualified in the Grade 8 Trinity College London examinations. Can we have a round of applause, please? for his remarkable achievement in representing the school in the cricket and district level basketball tournaments, and for exemplifying commitment, resilience, and a sporting spirit. The Best Sportsperson Award is conferred upon Rajveer Vishal Cherde. I now invite Mr. Vinod Singh, head of Good Shepherd International School, to confer the other awards. We are also delighted to announce that this is a new award category for the first time in Good Shepherd International School, the Best Marksman Award. For his exceptional precision, focus, and excellence in marksmanship, Rishi Agarwal gets the award for Best Marksmanship. The Best Dancer Award is jointly presented to Yutika Gupta and Divya Ladia in recognition of their dynamic performances with the Dance Dynamos and Step Stars and their contribution to the performing arts. For her articulate presence as an anchor in the Tar Talk series and for reflecting confidence and eloquence, the Best Award for Oration is conferred upon Prisha Vipul Agarwal. Prisha has also successfully completed her Grade 6 examinations in the Trinity College London Speech and Drama. I now invite Mr. Jacob Thomas, President of Good Shepherd International School, to confer the Leadership Excellence Award. In recognition of their exemplary leadership, integrity, and service to the school community, the Leadership Excellence Award is presented to Kaina Gulia and Hridan Dattani. I now invite Ms. Sarah Jacob, Senior Vice President, Student and Staff Welfare, to confer the award of the ceremony, the ultimate award. The Chalice of Champions, the Vessel of Victory, you may call it whatever you want to. This award is in recognition of the best all-rounder, whose accomplishments reflect exceptional balance and distinction across multiple domains. The student in question is an academic topper. They play the keyboard and have accomplished the Grade 6 certification in TCL music. Member of the school chess team, swimming team champion, and the Spring House captain, Pratham Hardik Chera. The dignitaries on stage will now take their seats amongst the audience, and I invite the chief guest, Ms. Alina Alam, to address the gathering.
Firstly, a big round of applause for everything y'all have achieved. Sitting there, I could literally remember the time when my parents were on the other side and I was here amongst y'all. Not the best student in school, definitely infamous, and always up to something. Lot of questions would never end, and yes, jumping from the window and escaping. That was me back then in school. I also remember when my boards marks were out, and this is, of course, you all have not given your boards till now, I'm assuming, have you all? You all would be. And the boards marks were out, and my parents and I, we were in front of the screen, and they weren't very great. But never did I once see that my father or my mother weren't proud of me. I remember standing, and we didn't have the online systems then. I remember standing in queues for every university, college possible. And then when I would see the names of those selected, my name wouldn't appear anywhere. And my father would say, no, don't worry. God has some plans in store for you. So from not appearing in any list in a majority of colleges in Calcutta, here I am today in front of you. So never, never underestimate what God has in store for you. And I think one advice before I give you all a gift is that never ever grow up. Preserve this moment, this about yourself. Because this is something that would lead you. The compassion that you'll naturally have, the courage that you'll have today, would lead you to heights you all cannot imagine. The next few minutes that we talk, it would mostly be about y'all. While it would be my journey, but y'all would be able to see yourself in it. Do we have like a clicker? Yeah? So let me take y'all back a couple of years. I was this 22-year-old in college, all right? Final semester, waiting for placements that will finally have studied enough, will finally get onto a job, will earn some good money, will send some money back home, and with the rest, party. That was my aim in life. Very simple. But God had other plans. And I got to watch this one documentary that my professor forced me to watch. He said, Alina, you're meant to watch this. And all of y'all should watch it too. It was on the Vidarbha farmer suicides. So I meet this character called Nero. So Nero was an emperor in the ancient Roman Empire. You see, mighty rich. He would win one war after the other, and one day, Nero wins the biggest battle of his life. And when you win, what do? You celebrate, you party. So Nero decided to throw a party, and he invited the who's who of Tinseltown. He invited kings and queens, princes and princesses from across 7 kingdoms. And as the evening befell, Nero said, boss, we need some lights to make the party happening and rocking. So he decided to burn waste, kachra, to generate light. Nero decided to burn the prisoners of war and the poor people who he had captured, who he considered not more than waste. I was 22 years old then in that classroom. While my friends walked out, I was there for the next 3 hours contemplating as to what just happened. What did I just see? Which is when I realized this very simple thing. And you know what that is? I realized that the problem was not Nero. You know, you could equate Nero with atrocities, injustice, discrimination, all the not so nice things that you see in this world that exist, that will always exist. The problem was not Nero. What was the problem? What was the problem? What was the problem? Mindset. It was Nero's guests as to how thousands of them could sing, dance, drink when fellow human beings suffered, burned, and died. And at that point of time, I realized that I was one of Nero's guests. That is, if you feel something about anything, and if you're not willing to take action, then you've taken a side. And unfortunately, that side is that of the oppressor. I decided I could not continue to be one of Nero's guests, and instead started on the journey of finding myself somewhere. Which is when I started volunteering with these incredible organizations, and y'all should volunteer too. With these incredible organizations that work in the disability inclusion space. Which is when I realized this very simple thing. The problem is not that, so generally when we conceive, so I have two of my kids sitting right there. So generally when we conceive, we say we want a healthy baby. What does a healthy baby mean? Kya matlab? What does a healthy baby mean? No disability? Simple, right? A baby without a disability. See, the problem is not that there are over 7 crore people with disabilities in India and over 1 billion people with disabilities across the world. The problem is the larger statistics, and you know what that is? That is the disability and the perceptions of the community that stops us from seeing the magic in their abilities, and I wanted to challenge and change just that. I needed a common denominator, and what better than hungry people? Food as a medium to do 2 very simple things. One is money should enter the accounts of our lovely team members with disabilities through our cafes year on year. Second, more important than that, to be able to create awareness about inclusion with every meal or beverage that we serve. So and for those of y'all who might want to start something in their lives. So when I started Mitti Café, I started Mitti with 0 startup capital, so no money. I did not even know what capital expenditure or operational expenditure is. Empty pockets, failed sales attempts, multiple rejections. So when I didn't have anything, and this is, I think, everything that I've learned over my 8-9 years of doing Mitti Café, I just want to pass it on to you all as a gift from me. So everything that I've learned. So one is that when I didn't have anything, so do not ever fear scarcity. You know why? Because when you don't have anything, that's the time you're your strongest, because you have nothing to lose. So scarcity leads to creativity, leads to a leech-like attitude, leads to desperation, leads to shamelessness. All great assets for any of y'all to have as y'all move on in life, as y'all want to achieve something in life. So next time somebody tells you you're a despo, be proud about it. Say, I am a despo in life. So when I didn't have money to start my first cafe, what did I do? I went from door to door, house to house, shop to shop, asking whom? Y'all, the community, to join the movement of inclusion. Right from our spoons, second-hand ovens, second-hand fridge, tissue papers, were all donated by people I didn't know, by the community. The local electrician, Shrikant uncle, he refused to charge me that 300 rupees. On the phone, we were bargaining, 500 to uncle nahi hai, I don't have. And then he came to 300, and when he came to Mitti Café and saw what we were doing, he was leaving, and I said, uncle, please, I think, ab bhul gaye hai paisa. And he said, no, this is my contribution. The vegetable vendors came to know that we're doing something like this. They came with vegetable baskets that turned into our lampshades. It was the community that helped us start our first cafe. So never, ever, ever fear scarcity. And always leverage the potential of the community. Who's the community? All of these people who clapped for each other. The power of the community to grow exponentially. Our first employee, she came in crawling for the interview because her family could not afford a wheelchair. You would give her this mic, her hands would shake and it would fall. Today, she sits on her wheelchair and manages 10 other people with disabilities. She's the manager for our first cafe, and her name is Kirti. As I talk to you, we have hundreds and thousands of Kirtis across the Mitti cafes that we have. Our first cafe was a small table and an umbrella. It would rain and we would run away. Our kitchen was a dilapidated tin shed with a disclaimer. It was full of generations of rats that the community helped me clean. So from there today, from that small table and an umbrella, donated equipments, and Kirti, today Mitti Café is the world's largest chain of cafes that are completely managed by adults with physical, intellectual, and psychiatric disabilities. Next, it is very, very important that in your journeys, when you all find people who would want to join you, when you all even get the opportunity to employ people, You know, people ask me, how have you been able to scale, Alina? And the number one answer to that is pass on the ownership to your team. So today, a Sabiha, she's got multiple sclerosis, very severe disability. No, that's fine. Oh, that's fine, I don't need it. So, Sabiha, she's got multiple sclerosis, very, very severe disability, no control over her hands or her legs. So when she came in, we tried to put her in the kitchen, and it was a big flop. It didn't work out. Then you know what we realized? We realized that Sabiha has got the gift of the gab. You know what that means? If you come in for a 10 rupees chai, she will talk you out of 50 rupees combo meal. And Sabiha, now she's become a bada admi. She's left Mitti Café. She's outgrown us. She started her kirana shop. She's deployed a person with Down syndrome, and today she's one of our vendors. Our atta chawal comes from Sabiha's shop. So it is about valuing your people, showing them the magic in their abilities, and eventually they'll show you magic. It gives me immense pride to say, see, COVID happened, and this is for all of y'all. We had 13 cafes then. Today we are over 70 cafes, the world's largest. But when COVID happened, all our cafes shut down. So professionally, personally, in your lives, there would be a time when you're doing very well, and then suddenly, boom, everything comes down, comes falling flat. But the answer to that is, life will always give you an opportunity to pivot. And when you have the right team, you've given them the sense of respect, dignity, importance, ownership, they will hold your back. So when we were looking at survival, one of our team members with intellectual disabilities, Hemant, he's got autism, so not all disabilities are visible, right? There are hidden disabilities as well. So Hemant, at the peak of COVID, this boy comes and he tells us, listen to this. Didi log bhuke hain aur hame khana banana aata hai. There are people who are hungry and we know how to cook. And he further says, agar hum khana banayenge, if we start cooking, koi bhukha nahi rahega. We always talk in numbers, right? 100 meals, 1,000 meals. This boy in the autism spectrum says that if we start cooking, nobody will stay hungry, and he bursts out into laughter. So for generally with people with mental disabilities, what do we say? What do we say about them? Pagal hai, aimless hai. They don't know what they are saying, they don't know what they are doing. Now Hemant, at the peak of COVID, he comes, and this was his idea. We started with a few hundred meals, and it gives me immense pride to say that our team members with disabilities have served over 2 crore meals to the economically vulnerable, thereby changing the paradigm that persons with disabilities, given the right kind of support, can not just support themselves, but support the nation in need. We did have the President of India coming into Mitti Café, and just recently, and she inaugurated Mitti Café on her birthday. Something interesting happened. So just 3 days before the President was supposed to come and inaugurate Mitti Café at Rashtrapati Bhavan, her security made us do all possible drills and all the things we should not do in front of the President. Do not touch her, do not smile too much, do not talk too much, no touching her, otherwise shh. And we were really scared, but we said, okay, I think we'll just about manage. So when the Honorable President of India, Draupadi Murmu ma'am, when she came to Mitti Café, I took her inside and I showed her the cafe. And outside when we come, to my surprise, thankfully to my surprise, you know what I see? I see this double-decker cake made by our candidates with intellectual disabilities and their mothers. They even surprised me, thankfully. Otherwise, I would have definitely informed her security because I feared for my life. But thankfully, because they didn't tell me that, not only did the President come and cut the cake, she asked for 40 spoons and she fed each one of our 40 team members with disabilities with her own hands. Such is the power of leadership, and the demonstration that she made there really enabled us to create awareness about inclusion. We also had the Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji. He came into one of our cafes during the inauguration of the Navi Mumbai airport. So while we, on the TV screens, everybody could see the Prime Minister of India coming and interacting with many of our team members, and I see Archana there. She also is a part of our cafe at the Mumbai International Airport. But what y'all would not know is what Prachi's mom told me. So Prachi, she's non-verbal, she's in the autism spectrum. So it took her mother years. So she's a single mother. Her father left them when Prachi was born. And Prachi's mother calls me and she tells me that, ma'am, पता है आपको, do you know this? When nobody, none of my relatives, none of our neighbors would ever invite us, me and Prachi, to any family gatherings, to any occasions, because they would feel embarrassed. What if she does something? And because my daughter is non-verbal, nobody would ever even try to communicate with her. The Prime Minister of India, he came and he asked Prachi, "Aapka naam kya hai?" And it took her mother years, only in one language, Hindi. "Aapka naam kya hai?" She would say Prachi. It took her mother years to make her say this. And when the Prime Minister of India asked her, "Aapka naam kya hai?" 30 seconds, it was pin drop silence because Prachi didn't say anything. And we said, "Okay." And then she said, "Main Prachi hu." And her mother called me up and says that, "कोई बात नहीं, कोई मेरे बेटी से बात नहीं किया, आज प्रधानमंत्री मेरे बेटी से बात की." And you know something interesting, and you can even ask Archana this. Every time I walk into a Mitti Café, and you know what my team tells me? They tell me that, "Ma'am, जितने भी लोग आज Mitti Café आते हैं, whoever comes into a Mitti Café, उन लोग सब हमारे लिए president है, prime minister है." And that is the power of all of y'all sitting here and the difference that y'all can make. You know, generally when we talk about change, we talk about poverty in millions, hunger in millions, violence, unreported violence in millions. The culture of silence that we see around us. Persons with disabilities are kept in a lockdown for an entire lifetime because of the disability in our perceptions and in inaccessible infrastructure, inaccessible attitudes. We've all gone through lockdowns. They've been kept in a lockdown for an entire lifetime. And here we are at a point of privilege, right? How many of y'all glorify social work? Y'all feel social work बहुत अच्छा चीज़ है? Social work? I'd say from today onwards, replace it with social duty. And you will see the world and yourselves and the purpose of your life differently. There are millions of young girl children who would never be able to go to school because of their gender. Millions who would never be able to see daylight from the womb because of their genders. Millions, as I said, are kept in a lockdown, homeless because of their disabilities. Their identities are defined by one aspect of themselves. And here, all of us are at a point of privilege. It is a debt that we have towards the society. Maybe our life goes and we'll never ever be able to pay off that debt, but life is about that. And when we say for every Mitti Café that you go to, you'll always see this tagline called Magic of Abilities. But is it just the magic of abilities of our team members with disabilities? No, it is the magic of abilities that lies within each one of you all to bring about a difference. Do that one bit. Compassion and courage are two weapons that can eradicate any problem that our world faces today, and God is intelligent. He's already given that to you naturally in plenty. Replace social work with social duty. Remember, people always glorify ideas, right? That the idea has to be unique for it to be successful. How many of y'all think that? Idea has to be unique for it to be successful. Raise of hands. Remember this ratio in life. It is 99% implementation, 1% the idea for success. There is no idea in the world, if you've thought about it, somebody's already not thought about it. Always remember that. Second, gende ka chamda. Rhino skin in your journey, you all would require that. Balance that by keeping your ego at home, because every day you can better yourself. So Mitti as an idea was rejected at every incubation center across the country. I still have that list. And here I am in front of you. But at the same time, I kept my ego at home, trying to become a better version of myself and not competing with anybody else. Remember that. And lastly, as one of my favorite poets says, and I'll translate it for y'all, he says, "मेरे सीने में नहीं तो तेरे सीने में सही हो कहीं भी आग, लेकिन आग जलनी चाहिए," which means we'll all die someday. But irrespective of whether you live or die, let that ignition continue in someone's heart. Do that one bit for that one Kirti, for that one Sabiha, for that one Bhairappa. Inspire just that one more person to join you. And the world will change for what it should be. And the power to do that, the magic to do that, lies within each one of y'all. I promise. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think every standing ovation belongs to our Praveens and our Kirtis and our Archanas out there.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your inspiring words. And this is probably for the first time we have witnessed so many people have stood up for the chief guest for such a phenomenal speech. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's okay.
The expression of gratitude
Do we have a video? I don't know if we have a
will be
video.
delivered by Mr. Suresh Thangarajan, coordinator of the IB Diploma program.
Good afternoon, everyone. Our respected guest of honor, Ms. Alina Alam, founder and CEO of Mitti Café, our president, Jacob Thomas, senior vice president, Sarah Jacob, head of school, Vinod Singh, and headmistress, Deepa Suresh, coordinator for Siski and Cambridge, Rekha Jacqueline, members of academic council, teachers, boarding house parents, support staff, parents and guardians, students, resident medical officers, Albin and Kritika, well-wishers, and most importantly, our graduate class of 2026. We are just had the privilege of listening to a truly enlightening, motivating, and thought-provoking speech by an esteemed guest of honor, Ms. Alina Alam. Your journey reminds our students that education finds its highest purpose when knowledge serves humanity. Thank you for showing our students that success is not defined only by achievement, but by impact. And one phrase which you told is still ringing in our minds is, disability is in all, and you mentioned that disability is in our perception. When we reflect, we'll know. Alina, thank you for not only for inspiring words, but also presenting the special awards and graduation certificates to our students today. On behalf of a student body, I request you to accept a small memento as a token of gratitude.
I think for every woman who's been told and for all the checks I did not get because they felt that when I get married and when I have children, then what will happen to their money? This is the answer. Not only have we been able to survive, but we've even been able to scale because the ecosystem has been so conducive and becoming a mother has made me so much stronger in every aspect of life, let alone becoming an entrepreneur. Thank you.
Thank you, Alina. Today is more than a ceremony. It's a meaningful pause between effort and outcome, guidance and independence, school and the world beyond it. Also, on this very day, February 21st, Good Shepherd International School marks 29 years since its inception in 1977. To our academic council members and heads of departments, thank you for nurturing a school culture where character is valued as deeply as competence and integrity matters as much as achievement. Sarah and Jacob, your steady leadership ensures that every student here is known, supported, and challenged. A confident graduate is never created by chance. It is the result of your consistent care and high expectations. To our teachers today, students receive certificates, but you know that unseen journey behind each one, drafts rewritten, doubts clarified, resilience built slowly over time. You did not simply complete curriculum or syllabi, you cultivated perseverance. To our doctors, Alvin and Kritika, thank you for providing reassurance during anxious moments, along with their dedicated medical team for ensuring the well-being of students and staff throughout this academic year. And parents, today, you see young adults at this stage, but we recognize the trust you placed in us when you choose a residential school. Education works best as a partnership, and we thank you for walking this journey with patience and faith. I must also extend my gratitude to our boarding house parents, Shobha, Rajendran, Prithviraj, Ujjwal, Sulagna, and Piali, mess managers, campus supervisors, secretaries, Divya, Sini, Manoj, and Deepthi, Indu, Sam, photographers, Ajay and Vimal, and other support staff. You have been the backbone of our students' daily lives, ensuring the comfort, safety, and well-being throughout their time in GSIS. I especially thank Vinola for designing and arranging graduation-related materials for this ceremony. A sincere note of appreciation to our Director of Activities, Dominic Ertz, and his incredible team for their hard work and ensuring today's ceremony is as special as it is. To our graduates today, it marks a significant milestone, but it is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of new possibilities, responsibilities, and opportunities. You have worked tirelessly over the past 2 years, and now the final stretch still remains critical. 91 of you graduates today, each with a unique story, yet all sharing a common experience growth. For nearly 22 of you, I have watched this journey from your junior years on this campus. Today we celebrate, but we must also remember the purpose of this moment. Graduation is meaningful only when it becomes a beginning. Our ISC students will complete their remaining examinations. Our IB diploma students, you still have trial examinations ahead, followed by your final board examinations, which will begin in late April. So celebrate today, but prepare tomorrow. Confidence does not come from last-minute effort. It comes from sustained preparation. Your graduation will truly be complete when all 91 of you walk into universities, not only with offers, but with readiness to think independently, act ethically, and live responsibly. No matter the path ahead, university or new academic pursuits or personal growth, what truly matters is that you continue to strive for excellence, lead with integrity, and remain lifelong learners. Parents, I want to reassure you that IB is not designed merely to produce toppers. It aims to develop capable young adults who can adapt globally while remaining grounded in values. Students, in a few months you will leave this campus. You will miss routines you once resisted, sometimes preppers, sometimes reminders, deadlines, teachers asking, have you submitted? One day you will wish someone still did. So today is not goodbye, it is a transition. Let us once again extend our heartfelt gratitude to our guest of honor, Alina, and to everyone who made this ceremony memorable. On behalf of the entire GSIS community. Congratulations, batch of 2026, and may your journey be meaningful. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, sir. I request all our dignitaries to kindly take their seats amongst the audience. We shall now view a presentation capturing the most memorable moments in the lives of our graduates at Good Shepherd International School.
Okay.
So, hi guys, I'm in the CCB and this is Candidate Satej, no?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, Satej.
It seems like they shallow me chillin', tryna stack 100 million. Girl got a billion. What a wonderful feeling, hit to the ceiling, hit to the since 2017, I'm living the dream, getting the cream, I'm living on theme, I'm doing my things, Marty Supreme, Marty Supreme, Marty Supreme. Flex, now I'm flexing, got count corp and I check him, got model, peck him, I'm Ryan Reynolds and Wrexham, I'm having fun, just my young get restless, when they say I'm too senseless, I respond like, my life is an opera, look at the Oscars, look at the groupies, look at the movies, look at the AAA girl gon' choose me, look at my haters, man, they wanna sue me, chillin' and creepin' the 4-door, live on the rackets and more door, I live like the king with my sword drawn, it's the money supreme in the 4 roars.
I'm 4 months deep in this jamming, and I'm whipping it round as a babe, and plotted on chase, couldn't make the excursion, so I'm on this Jagan, went from Henny to sipping on bathing, I switched to a different pace, and cut to the chase, now they call me the surgeon, all over the net of my bathing, I'm a warlord, kilos under the floorboards, ramming the whip to the store door, SD killing from Wardor, I'm putting my name on the scoreboard, full of I've got me short drawn, I'm rotting, I'm sick when I pour fours, every time I smoke I like 4 roars.
यादों के पुराने एल्बम में छुपा के रखे हैं हमने वो दिन गुल्लक में बड़ी चवन्नी सी बचा के रखे हैं हमने वो दिन ना किसी मंजिल की फिकर थी जिंदगी जीने की उम्र थी दोस्ती और दोस्तों से उधार के दिन थे वो दिन भी क्या 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 दिन थे बिगड़े हुए इंसान थे शैतान की संतान थे लेकिन ब्रदर जो भी कहो वो यार ही तो जानते कॉलेज की कुड़ी से करने आके चार के दिन थे वो आए जिंदगी में पहले दिन भी क्या दिन थे
What a way of reminiscing those good old days. The graduating batch will now present their graduation song.
For even if I'm far away, I hold you in my
What a wonderful rendition. The ceremony will continue with the graduation batch hymn.
Ladies and gentlemen, the graduation ceremony of the academic year 2025-2026 ends on a note of high optimism.